This is a list of the ingredients you'll need to make this very simple soup. You'll need about 2 pounds of carrots, some ginger, 3 garlic cloves, a quarter of an onion, and 1 can of coconut milk. Now, with the carrots, if you're lucky enough to be able to get some farm carrots versus these commodity carrots, your soup is going to probably taste a lot better. Local food's more nutritious and tastes a lot better. So, I'm using farm carrots. I'm going to cut off the ends, and then I'm going to peel the carrots, and I'm going to use them in 2 different ways. The first way is we're going to make our garnish for the soup. And to do that, we're going to take our peeled carrots, and I would use a mandolin if I could find it, but I couldn't. So I'm going to improvise and use my peeler here to make thin discs. You could do this with a knife if you like, but again, easier with a mandolin if you have one, or you could use a peeler like I'm doing right here. So once I have all my rings or discs cut, I'm going to put them in a bowl, get them seasoned with just a little bit of oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. Next, you're going to mix those up and get them ready to go into the oven. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a small sheet tray, put a little paper down, and we're going to lay the rings out onto the paper, and then we're going to put them in an oven at 350 degrees. These go pretty quickly, so set a 5-minute timer so you don't forget that they're in the oven, and you're really just going until they're slightly brown and crispy. Once we get all of that in the oven, it's time to prep the rest of our vegetables. So we're going to grab our ginger, and I like to just peel down the ginger, peel right over those knobs. Next, we're going to take our ginger and cut planks. And any of these oblong planks you can save. We're going to actually juice those with the remainder of the carrots to make our ginger and carrot stock. But really here, I like to cut the ginger in a small dice, mainly to release the oils naturally as opposed to shaving it down with a grater. The flavor profile changes. And I'm not super concerned about knife cuts. Everything's going to get pureed in the end, so it doesn't really matter how it comes out. Next, we'll grab our garlic, give it a peel, and we're going to get it all minced up. Same philosophy here. If you smash garlic, it kind of changes the flavor profile. With that being said, also don't really care about how accurate we are as we're going to puree this all. So once we have all our ginger done, we're going to move on to our carrots. And our carrots, we're just going to do a large dice, or just really large chunks. And we just need to do our onion last. So a couple of slices here on the onion. Thinner is better on the onion because the way that we're going to saute it when we make our soup. So with about a half a pound of the carrots and our leftover ginger scrap, we're going to put our carrots into a blender. So I happen to have some really small baby carrots here, so I'm not peeling them. I've scrubbed them pretty well. What we're going to do is cover that with water in starter blender. And we're going to blend this until it's smooth. That's going to be the base of our soup. Now, we're going to grab a pot and add oil to it, heat up the oil, and add our ginger and our garlic. Now, the thing with the ginger in ginger carrot soups is you can add as much ginger as you like because it's your soup and it's your flavor. So I'm not going to tell you how much ginger to use. If you really like ginger, add more. If you don't, add less. And we're going to cook our onions until they're translucent. And always make sure that you season with salt and pepper as you go along. So once we've got these kind of translucent onions, we're going to add the remainder of our carrots. And to the pot, we're going to add that pureed carrot and ginger juice, which is going to be the base or the stock of our soup. And we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to turn it down to a light simmer. And once the carrots are cooking, after about 30 minutes or so, the carrots should be soft, and you can just check them with a fork. Once they're soft, we're going to take the soup and put it into the blender. Now you want to hold back on some of the liquid because your soup, if there's too much liquid, will be too liquidy. So what I like to do is add the solids, add enough liquid to get it blending, and then start blending it. Then we add our coconut milk. And if you haven't noticed yet, this is vegan. We haven't added any animal products. And to be honest, we could have used chicken stock or other stocks. But the problem is, if we use chicken stock, our soup will kind of taste like chicken. If we use carrot juice, we're really enhancing that carrot flavor. So when you're seasoning this soup, you want to make sure you taste it at the end and do salt and pepper. It also might need some acid, so I recommend a little splash of sherry vinegar. And by splash, I mean very lightly. Once you re-blend that after it's seasoned, you can start plating. So add your soup to your bowl, sprinkle a little bit of the carrot chips. I save some of the carrot tops as a garnish. I put a little sesame seeds and a little bit of scallions, and I finish it off with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.